Welcome to CSL TV. And I got a crazy ass story I'd like to share with y'all. Well, you know, I got some crazy content I'd like to share with y'all. But, you know, I just hope you're having a beautiful, blessed day. You know what I'm saying? The Midwest. It's pretty decent, fair weather. You know, I can't complain. But anyway, we're going to talk about this shooting that happened. Well, we're going to watch this shooting that happened with, you know what I'm saying, this guy in the police. He robbed some cars, hijacked some cars. Excuse me. That's a crazy story by itself. Also, shout out to Notice News and, you know, all the resources I get my information from. But yeah, that's kind of a crazy story. Also, we got a story about this dude catch his girl. Well, this girl caught her boyfriend cheating, and the title say he attacked her or something crazy like that. I don't know, but we also got that video we gonna watch. There's some other stuff I can come up with. Fine, you know, I'm trying to make it a little entertaining. Something y'all should always watch out for, because I'm just stuck on this dude who fucking was in traffic jumping through people's vehicles through the window. Like, think about you sitting in traffic and then somebody just come through your window and boom, gunpoint from another vehicle. But as always, y'all be safe out there. Watch out for these idiots.
This story out of Chicago is heartbreaking. This is 16-year-old Andre Smith. He was supposed to be on vacation with his family in Florida, but his mother said he couldn't get off work, so he stayed home. And that's when tragedy struck. Andre had just finished playing basketball Sunday afternoon here on the far side of Chicago when police say a burgundy SUV pulled up and began firing. Another group started shooting back, and in the hail of bullets, Andre was struck in the chest, killing him. His mother said this.
Sister called me and said Andre is shot and he's not moving. And they went and got his stepfather. They wouldn't let nobody approach him, so we died alone.
That community has been plagued with gun violence. One neighbor said this.
It's heartbreaking because, you know, the kids, it's like they don't have a chance at all, man. They don't have a chance. It's like they're in a bowl and it's slowly filling up and nobody's doing anything about it.
Although Chicago's gun control laws are stricter than most, the city is flooded by guns purchased in other states where guns are easier to get. In fact, this 2017 report from the mayor's office found that the majority of illegal guns in the city came from states other than Illinois. The #1 supplier, Indiana.
So all I gotta say, that was real sad to hear about that young boy who couldn't go on his family vacation and end up getting killed just playing basketball while being at the park. The gun violence is getting crazy and crazy, and I just feel bad for his family that, you know, she had to find out that her kid died the way he died, and knowing he was by himself. That's what I say. It's gun violence stuff. Y'all just gotta be safe, because you just never know what type of people you're around nowadays. It's just so messed up to hear that you on vacation, your kid couldn't go. And the one moment you wish they could have just had that time, they could have, you know, been with you. Like, that's crazy.
This story of a police officer being ambushed at a traffic stop is absolutely tragic. This is 24-year-old Noah Chavanez, a U.S. Army vet who'd been with the police department in Indiana for just 11 months. Around 2 a.m. a few weeks ago, he pulled over a car and radioed to officers that the driver had a gun. But during this traffic stop, the driver was able to get out of the car and open fire on the officer at least 36 times. Police say the officer didn't even have a chance to unholster his gun. The driver then took off and led cops on a high-speed chase while he FaceTimed his family on the phone. When the cops finally brought him to a stop, they arrested him and found a handgun and an AK-47 style assault rifle inside his car. Officer Chavanez was helicoptered to a hospital where he was sadly pronounced dead. What's also tragic about this shooting is this apparently isn't the first time the suspect's done something like this. In 2006, he shot at Indianapolis cops during a different traffic stop and was sentenced to 25 years in prison on a variety of different charges. He was released early on parole last year under an old state program that cut prison sentences in half for inmates with good behavior. The suspect is said to run a barbershop, and someone who lives above that barbershop told cops that the shooter wrote a song about how if he was ever caught by police, he'd kill them. The small town community continues to pay tribute to its fallen officer. Carl Boards II has been charged with murder as well as additional crimes.
Well, y'all, man, this shit is crazy. I can't believe a police officer got ambushed, and just to hear how this crazy lunatic motherfucker basically had it out and was riding around crazy. For somebody who's a felon with mental problems already, knowing he was like that, I'm surprised nobody reported this dude. I mean, what the hell? I can't believe nobody said nothing before all this happened. Like, these are the type of people who don't need to be around guns because their mental capacity is incapable of knowing the right thing to do with such a high power, firearm. And this shit is so sad just to hear, innocent people lose their lives. Definitely as we just heard the news talk about the little boy who was just out there at the park playing basketball, and now a police officer being ambushed just for doing his job, man. This is where you got to be careful now. This next story we're about to get into is a little bit more, it's the same thing, but this shit's getting crazy out here. So, like I said, y'all just got to be careful. I don't want to say don't live your life, but live your life, but just be careful while living your life. And, I'm just going to try to spread as much positivity, whoever checking me out. And for those that's not checking me out, I just hope you safe out here. That's all I hope.
This story of a serial carjacker is nuts, and it was all caught on video. It all went down in Las Vegas last week when a police helicopter was following this guy for a suspected carjacking that happened back in May. At one intersection, the guy gets out of his car, goes in through the window of a stranger's SUV, and forces the driver out. He then takes off in the hijacked vehicle with police on his tail, reaching speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. The cops ram the back of the stolen SUV to try to stop the guy, but it doesn't work. And that's when he starts shooting. Police return fire, shooting at the carjacker through their own windshield. But the guy wasn't done. He takes off, pulls up to another SUV, and starts shooting at that driver. Fortunately, that driver manages to reverse away. The carjacker gets back into the vehicle he originally stole and drives off. He soon ends up in this grocery store parking lot where, you guessed it, he tries to steal a cart for the third time. The cops swarm.
Vehicle's moving. Get in here, guys. He has shot at 6 civilians, so if we can get that thing blocked in, get it done.
This leads to yet another shootout with the cops until the guy again speeds away. Cops are only able to stop the guy when he smashes head-on into an oncoming police dog patrol car. That's when cops finally get the guy. Miraculously, neither the cop nor the suspect was seriously hurt, and neither was the police dog that was in the cop car. The 40-year-old carjacker faces 13 charges, including 4 counts of attempted murder.
Okay, so emergency. The co-pilot jumped out. The co-pilot jumped out?
Yes. This 23-year-old pilot fell to his death from a plane in North Carolina. Charles Crooks was flying as co-pilot when the plane went in for a rough landing. The other pilot took over the controls, and when the plane recovered, reports say Crooks was visibly upset and said he needed to get some air, then took off his headset and made his way to the ramp door where he fell out of the plane mid-air without wearing a parachute. Now, the other pilot was able to successfully land the 2-engine plane and call 911. Crews immediately went out looking for him. And Crooks' body was found in someone's backyard about 5 hours after the fall.
I was shocked, and I didn't believe it. Either he jumped or he fell.
A lot of questions still remain.
I'd like to hear what was going on in the cockpit that wasn't even communicated with their traffic control.
And the National Transportation Safety Board is looking into exactly what happened before his death.